Trying to see. I have my other phone, but I need to get. I should use my laptop and that stuff too, right? Hey James, good evening. How you doing? What's going on? Welcome. Is that Willie? Willie. Hey, what's going on, Willie? How you been? What's going on, dude? I'm trying to get my so I can see what's going on. How you guys doing? I'm gonna try to make. I'm trying to get this other phone at working, so I could show you guys what it looks like once I do the live and stuff like that. Actually, you know what? I was gonna record using my other camera here. My other thing here, I got this thing that I've been using for a long time, but I'm not sure because I was going to record. So I want to take so I could do a video for short people that missed the live, they could see. But I think I'm just going to pick the phone up or something, and I'm going to, whatever. None. Hey, Bill, what's up? How you doing? I'm going to get up. Hold on. I got to get my, my other TikTok account I have so I can get in there. And I can... Oh, it's giving me the update. I have the update. Second. Done. Grace Armor. Sorry. Sorry about that, guys. Give me a second. I hate this. Don't you hate when you try to do something? I'll put the other one in and I'll go in live another one so I can see your comments as I'm cooking. Because I can't see. I don't like bending down. All right. I'm coming in. All right. I'll put this here so you can see what's going on. Oh, Jesus. Oh, crap. All right. All right. Good. That's good, Willie. Awesome. What's your purpose in here? What's my purpose? I am cooking. I'm starting to cook. I'm going to make chicken tortellini soup. Welcome, Peacock. Welcome. That's my purpose, my friend, is to cook. So so we're gonna make chicken tortellini soup tonight. This recipe is something that I had many years ago, and I had it to somebody else, and I really didn't like the way it was. So I decided to put my own spin on it and really make it much more flavorful. Because it was kind of bland, so I'm making it this, whatever. So basically, it's very simple. It's not hard or anything. We're gonna first start doing. We're gonna cut up our vegetables. Peacock, how is your evening going? What was that? Something flashed. I didn't see the... Oh, okay. Something on that side. I got a message dual on the other side of the thing. So what we're going to do first, we're going to cut up our vegetables. And what you're going to need is basically, the Trinity, carrots, celery, onion. We're going to do that. teaching occasion new tricks. I'm doing great. That's good. That's awesome. So we're gonna need a whole onion for. Well, we're gonna need about a half an onion for it. Maybe a little more than that. We'll see. And we're gonna use we're gonna need celery. I'm gonna do like 2 stalks. Now I don't know. I bought this celery. I don't know where I bought this. I might have bought this at Sam's. I think I bought this at Sam's. So, come on. Yeah, the leaves are kind of going on them. So produce doesn't last that long. They go very fast. I had a cucumber about within 5 days. Not even 5 days. It was mushy. It was terrible. Horrible. I'm like, so it's just, produce is, everything's expensive, but then everything doesn't last that long. You can see it's starting to get like brown. I just bought these Monday or Tuesday. Crazy. So we're gonna do that. So when you prepare vegetables, you want to get them ready for you and before you chop. So what I'm going to do is before I cut these vegetables, I'm going to get to the carrots next, which we actually are going to need 2 carrots for. And I'm going to peel that. So I'll make my peeler here. I got a nice little peeler that I like to use all the time, and this is kind of cool. Hey, Jerry, happy Saturday. Yeah. Veggies and store. Terrible. Did somebody try to join by mistake? Okay. Oh, crap. I'm really dropping crap on the floor. Jeez. Yeah, so... Oh, Peacock, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Thank you. So, I'm going to clean these carrots fast. So, you want to get all your vegetables prepared. Sometimes we tend to I'll cut up the celery and then I have to get to the carrots and come up. Just clean them off first, and then you can cut them all at one shot. So that way you're not, you know what I'm saying? So you just, you get it all done fast. That's what I like to do. I learned throughout the years of cooking and stuff, especially in commercial kitchen, you got to follow a pattern, because you want more of a turn. You want to be more efficient. You don't want to be, so lax that things don't get prepared, at an adequate time. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. All right. So we got that carrot done. That carrot's done. We'll do our next carrot. Where am I from? I am from upstate New York. Well, what state are you from, Peacock? So then, I've been cooking for, since I'm young kid, I got started in cooking, when I was younger, and I was baking more in the beginning because I like cakes and stuff, and that's what I do. I haven't did cakes in a while, but that's what I was doing professionally. I took courses and learned how to decorate and learned all about baking and designing and all that awesome stuff. Oh, you're from Texas? A displaced Cajun? Well, you know what? I do like Cajun cooking. I really didn't have a lot of it. My dad one time made shrimp etouffee, but I didn't have it before. It was before I moved. I lived with him. He made it for my mom, and they really enjoyed it. My dad was a big Emeril Lagasse fan. So was I, but he was more because he liked Emeril stuff, and he always watched them all the time and stuff like that. So, let's see, I got my knife here, my little chef's knife. Got that. All right. So then I'm gonna cut up these vegetables, and then I'll get to the onion. So, I tend to, do things. Try to be orderly as possible, and sometimes when you cook, you want to be orderly as possible. So I'm gonna cut up our carrots here, and I got the garbage right next to me. I brought it over, so it makes it easy. Little trip when I was getting into telling you, when I started getting into cooking was back in like the early 90s and stuff like, well, not the early 90s, the late 90s and 2000s, because I was on my, I was cooking because I was living on my own. I moved out when I was about 17, 18, and I got into it more. But me and my parents used to watch the Food Network way before that. So we watched Rachel Ray when she was on the Food Network when she first started. And I remember seeing a commercial for her 30-minute meals coming soon on the Food Network. And we watched her. We loved her. That's where I really learned how to cook in that sense. I learned the basic kind of things. And that's how I learned. But my parents did teach me a lot. But Rachel Ray was much of an inspiration. And I know a lot of people don't like her because she's got that annoying voice and whatnot, and a lot of people just don't like her. But you know what? She's if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't really know how to cook that well in that sense. You know what I'm saying? But I know she's kind of butchered a lot of recipes with the Mexican pozole and all that stuff. And I'm not talking bad about her. I know a lot of times she's got her cooks doing it for her, and she really doesn't, because a lot of times now she's doing everything, it's not like before. You're originally from Louisiana. Yeah, I figured. And stuff like that. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to cut them like 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to start doing it, fast like that. And that's where I learned how to cook, basically in that sense, or expanded what I knew how to cook, So, getting to the point where I was trying to make, I said Rachel Ray had a garbage bowl, and I used to do that, but then I had a bowl. My bowl, do you remember the bowl? If you've seen my video when I was making the lemon blueberry gooey butter cakes, that blue bowl I was using, shortly after when I washed it, it was cracked. So I was using the mixer. It must have, I've used it many times with the mixer and it broke. So I do that. That was my garbage bowl at one point. But then I stopped doing garbage bowls, and I was just close to doing, stuff like that. I just do the garbage. I just bring the garbage over. So that way I'm not making so many trips, to the garbage and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. My place is small, so I got my garbage on that side. I got to bring it over. And that's not bad. You know what I'm saying? So I'm basically cutting these carrots, as you see, in pieces like that, and it should be enough for our soup. I really should cut these one at a time because sometimes I don't trust of anything. Now, I want to show a really crazy, a really good tip. When you're cutting vegetables like this and they tend to roll, sometimes I'll go like this. I'll cut off like that, shave that. So that creates like feet on there, like almost like a feet, like that. So you have that. I don't know if you guys could see that, how it looks like that. It creates like feet. So see how sturdy it is now? It's not rocking. See how it's, and that actually helps you when you're cutting, because now you're getting all that nice and honey. Now, my hands are not as good as they were before, because I used to be able to cut up these things much faster, and I have pretty good knife skills, but but I'm very careful when it comes to certain things. I'm gonna try to get this in half, and I'm gonna toss that stuff in the bowl. I use plastic garbage for garbage, easy peasy. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and we don't see. I live in upstate New York, and last few years, we switched from plastic bags to cloth bags. I mean, now I have nothing against the environment of protecting the environment, and I think that's amazing and it's great. But it's like with the garbage, with the brown paper bags, the trees. I kept saying the trees, and no trees, and then we wound up having plastic bags. And then they said it was not good for the environment after all these years, and then we wound up switching to what? Brown paper bags again. So it's kind of, it's funny. It's like, make up your mind, you know? But the cloth bags, the only bad thing I like about it is try to figure out how much to bring into the store with you. Like if you go into Walmart, you're walking in Walmart, you're trying to figure out, well, how many bags should I bring? You bring like, why? I'm getting in my head, I'm going, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that should be enough. And then you wind up coming out and saying, trying to figure out how to play, doing the shuffle, trying to figure out, okay, do I put this in there? Will it all fit? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you tend to leave the stuff outside the bag, and then you just toss it in the bag in the car when you get there. That's the only one thing I don't like about having reusable bags, because you don't know how many to bring. Does anybody else have that problem? Because I do. So yeah. So again, this recipe, I had this recipe a long time ago, and I liked it. It was okay, but it was missing a lot of stuff because it really didn't have a lot of. It was just simple. It was chicken stock, and it was like it didn't. I really didn't like it, so I really was more preferring that that it was had more stuff. But that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm actually going to jazz it. I won't say jazz it up. I'll say more of add to it to really make it really good. And it had no chicken in it, so had a little bit of pH. Misspelled. I'm trying to figure out what you said, Peacock. Had a bit of pH. Ignore. Okay, no problem. No problem. So I'm just going to wet a paper towel. And I'm going to... never mind. Gotta get another one. Fell on the floor. Butterfingers. Or I should say neuropathy fingers. I'm going to just wipe these ribs down. Because they do have dirt on them. It's like mushrooms. It's the same thing. You get the dust on it. I try not to wet everything down, because then you don't want all water on your board, especially when you got vegetables and you're running it underwater like that, and then you got to dry it and then just take it out. So then that's it. Put that aside. Get some of these in there. And that's much enough carrots. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll cut the carrot in half and then chop it so I get little pieces. But I think that's good enough. Because this is really good for flavor. Because we got a lot of stuff going on in this soup, so it's really not going to matter. So I'm not going to use these parts of tops here. I'm going to toss those. And of course, when you're cutting celery, you don't want to use the bottom portion of it, the white parts, because it's kind of bitter. So we're going to chop those off. And now here I'm going to chop these different, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to score this in half. I'm going to go down the middle, and I'm going to cut that in half, and I'm going to do the same thing here. You'll take your knife or your edge, hold it down a bit, hold it down, and then go right through the middle all the way down. And then what I'll do is I'll gather that up, and then we'll start chopping. Your pieces depend on how big you want them. I'm going for almost the kind of same inch. I did was off a little bit. So if you guys are just tuning in or coming into the chat, welcome. My name is Chris, and we're making tortellini chicken soup. And believe it or not, it was like 73 degrees today. And it's supposed to be the same tomorrow, and the low is like going to be 60 tonight. So it's going to be more 50, whatever, 59, whatever. So, but it was overcast most of the day here. So, and I live in upstate New York, and I'm originally from New York City. And so it's a little different here where I live because it's the country. So, all right. So we got our thing here. I have a scoop that I use sometimes, like almost like a bench scraper. And if you never saw one of these, this is what it looks like. Believe it or not, it's orange. And if you never saw one of these, this is what it looks like. Believe it or not, it's orange. And guess who this is from? Rachel Ray herself. And guess who this is from? Rachel Ray herself. So that's Rachel Ray. Now you can use this. You could just scoop it up and stuff like that. That's really good. I'm not going to use that tonight because I'm going to use the knife. You could do it this way, but the best way to do it is use the back of your knife so you don't really cut yourself. Just scoop it up right into the bowl. If you miss a few, that's one little celery man overboard. I try to be kind of quirky with my little stuff, my sayings and stuff like that. But so we're done with that, and I'm gonna chop up an onion right now. Onion's ready to go. Need to use. It's kind of getting a little bit funky. It's been in my refrigerator for a while, so I'm gonna cut. Now we're gonna dice this. I'm not gonna cut this in pieces, stuff like that. I love mine. Oh, you got one too? Wait, what's that say? Do you drive a car? Willie. I'm not from Massachusetts or Boston. I know Boston, we have Boston and New York. We got that kind of the way we talk. It's almost the same. So. So I cut the ends off here. And I got the shell here on here. So what I do is I cut down across, like this. And let's see, I think I'm going to use a half an onion. I'll use the bigger part and I'll save the rest for another time. But, so basically you're going to cut your peel off here. And you want to get that off. Sometimes it's annoying that these things, it's hard, like they're so ridiculous to try to come off. So when you try to peel them, you try to peel as best you can. So then sometimes you got to cut it off. See, it gets like, so, come on. Come on. Or the Bronx. Yeah, the Bronx. Yeah, I lived in the Bronx. The boogie down Bronx. So, I got our onion. So again, when you cut an onion, and I want to do a tutorial. I want to, do a tutorial on how when you cut an onion and stuff like that. It's like, you get into it, you do your first chops down this way, like this. Do something like that. Like that. Like that. I can't really see. Sometimes, it's like... And then you're going to turn your onion this way. But you're seeing it because I'm going like this. And you cut into it, you put your hand down, and you cut a couple of cuts in there. Try to hold it together as good as possible. The end of the root, you don't want to go all the way in. And then we'll cut another one in like this. That. And then we'll use our knife And then we'll chop down. Like that. Now, see, there's not enough cuts anymore to that point. Sometimes you want to fold, you want to get this out of the way. I'm going to clean my knife that way, like that. I'll turn this downward like this, like that. And I'll try to maybe just cut a little more dice in there. I like to go like this sometimes, like that, and cut around that. I don't want any of the other stuff. The stab core here, toss away. It all depends on how you feel, what you like. Now, sometimes what I'll do is, if I see things that are not broken up right, I'll just take my knife and I'll run that through. Sometimes what I'll do is, if I see things that are not broken up right, I'll just take my knife and I'll run that through. And I'll chop that through and get that chops that I want. Like that. And you could do that, and that's fine. You want to make it finer, like that. Rock your knife through. And there you go. And there you got your chopped onion in there. Now, this is good to use the scooper because there's a lot of it, but I roll differently sometimes. I roll differently. But that's okay. You got me cooking an omelet now? I'm glad. First thing I learned to cook was homemade bread. I was 6 years old. Wow. Oh, bro. Dude, I'd love... You know what? Not ashamed to say, I've never made bread before. And I'm a baker. Okay? I don't know why I never took interest in that portion of it. And I you know... I could say that it's trying to get everything, you know, with the yeast and the temperature of the water and all that stuff to make it, you know, that's great. I mean, then, you know, some people use the bread makers and stuff like that. You just toss everything in and don't have to worry about it. But if you're making like a rustic bread, like a, you know, like a old crusty Italian rustic bread, you know, that's great. My dad was doing breads and stuff like that. He struggled a lot because he got really mad. He's like, I can't do this. I don't know what's going on. One time I said to him with the bread, I said, Dad, just give it up. And and he looked at me like, I'm like, Dad, I love you, but I don't know. We're having so much problems. So he was trying those recipes that he saw. I don't know if he was looking on YouTube, like you do overnight or the bread that doesn't have to rise or knead or whatever it is. And he made it, and it came out pretty good. He did it in the pot, and that was good. But then he wouldn't stick to that. He wanted to make other bread that he was kind of struggling in. He wouldn't give up. That was one thing I liked about my father. He didn't give up. No bread maker. Well, I figured that, you know, because people don't use bread makers. And especially if you're in the South and you're making bread like you got to learn from scratch. You got to make it like that, you know, and that's great. My parents, my mom made bread. My grandmother and aunts, her sisters made bread. So, you know, and that was that on that. So, all right. So we got our vegetables all cut up. Okay. So we got all our vegetables there. I'm going to show this. Now, I'm showing this for the video I'm going to make that you'll see the, you know, the video, regular video, TikTok video. So that way it depends on how it comes out. So there you go. All right. So now we're going to, I'm going to move this, clean this off on the sink. There. Try to get all this off. And then what I'm going to do is right now, I'm going to work on our chicken. Now, you have a couple of options when you're doing this chicken recipe. You could do canned chicken if you'd like, or you could do like I'm doing using a store-bought rotisserie chicken. Or you can boil your own and do it like that, whatever you prefer, whatever's easy for you. So I got a rotisserie chicken here. And this is from Sam's. Funny story. I'm going to tell you a funny story. And if my friend is, I don't know if my friend Sue's in here. I'm going to check. Oops. No, she's not. She probably went to bed. Because we got to get up for church tomorrow. But anyway, funny story. I had COVID last October for the first time. And I got it really bad the first time. Wasn't like really breathing problems or anything like that. I had the like really high fever. Really bad. I had no appetite. Nothing. And my friend brought a chicken to me. She brings it, leaves the thing. I open up the bag and I said to my friend, so I said, what did she bring me? An ostrich? Where did she get this chicken's humongous? She said she got it from Sam's Club. I'm like, Sam's Club? I said, what, they got ostriches? You know? You know, it's like, it looked like an ostrich. These things were like huge. But I didn't eat it. I felt so bad because I was so sick. I had no appetite. It took me like a month to eat. I lost so much weight. I said, so I joke around and I said, get that and you get on the diet. That's your diet. That's your weight loss. You know, but no, all jokes aside, you know, but you have no appetite. So, so I'm going to take this rotisserie chicken and I'm just going to cut up, some of this. I'm just going to cut up the breast and stuff like that. So I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the breast in the middle like this. Like that. Ay! Accident! Ah! Oops. That's okay. Sounds like a DuPont commercial. Resolve. That's okay. If you ever see that commercial years ago? Well, it would help if I took the rubber band off the bottom of the chicken now, would it? Idiot. Sometimes I'm very self-critiquing of myself. And that's fine. Ooh, wings. Wings. All right, so I'm just going to cut through the bone here on this side here. I'm going to remove all the breast meat. And we are definitely going to shred this up. And now, here's a trick that I've learned, and I'm sure you guys saw it on TikTok. Catch you later. Have an enjoy your video. All right, Peacock, thank you for the follow. Thanks for coming in and stopping by. If I have the video out, you can check out the rest of the video, okay? Dude, thanks a lot for coming in and following me. Hope to see you soon. Willie, put the bloopers in the video. I probably would. I'll save them, you know, because once you're finished with the thing here, you got to download it. And then I have to go through all the footage and edit what I want and what I don't want. Sometimes it's good. Cold chicken is the best. Especially when it's fried. Okay, so. And I got the cartilage here. I'm going to cut that away. So, if you guys have not seen the hack in order to shred chicken, which you use a hand mixer to shred chicken. I saw that, I think I saw it on YouTube or something. I was looking up something for the Instapot, how to make something, I can't remember. And the woman pulls out a hand mixer. I'm like, oh my gosh, I said, burning my hands with the forks trying to do when it's hot. Let me tell you, it saved my life. Literally. So what I'm doing is I'm just removing the bones and stuff on the bottom here. Trying to get as much as I can off here. And I'm going to do that. And I'll cut the rest of the other stuff on the other side too, on the other breast meat. I'm not going to use the wings. I'm going to leave that. I can use that, have that for something else. I love the skin. I'll do good. So again, I'm going to remove the cartilage and I'm going to remove the bone from the bottom. You just go in with your knife here. The bone is attached there a little bit. That's fine. I'm going to push in a little bit. Go around that. and that'll pull away. And just grab your finger, and I'll pinch my finger on the bone. Try to get as much meat as you can away from that when you pour it apart, like so. And I'm going to try to just rip off as much meat I can. So, you know, all the goodness of that meat on that bone there. You know, you don't want to waste that. You want to get all that yum-yums. All right, so got that. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this back in the container here. And I'm going to, again, hold on to meat, put on there. Let me clean my hands. So I hope you guys are having a really good night. What are you guys up to tomorrow? Love to hear from you guys, what you're doing. Oops. Put that back in there. Put that back in the refrigerator. I can make like a chicken salad or something tomorrow. Maybe I'll eat it up or something. Put that back in there. All right. I'm just cooking. That's chicken, yeah. That's chicken, Willie. That's the chicken from the rotisserie from Sam's. Okay. Some bones here I missed. And that's okay. But I'm not going to shred it. You can. I think I'm going to shred it, but I'm just going to chop it in pieces and stuff like that. And I'll try to maybe shred it or whatever. You know what? Maybe I'll get the mixer out and do it. I'm like a sucker for punishment. Sometimes I'm like, well, if I do that, it's not going to look good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to toss that in there with the skin. There, throw that in there, throw that in there. And then I'm going to get this out of the way. Put the board in the sink. We're not going to use it. We're done with it. We're finished with it for the time being. And, oops. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get the hand mixer out. And I got the hand mixer, I got the spoonies in here. The spoonies. The spoonies. Why do I call it spoonies? The spoonies. All right, so we're going to just do this. We're gonna do this fast, and I'm gonna try to get this going like that, and then we'll start all our stuff, what we're gonna do and stuff like that. So when you're shredding the chicken, just be careful because it will move, and it will go all over the place. Which does go all over the place. I'll show you what's it looking like. I'm not going to do it too much. I'm not going to go really hard on it. It's going to go all over the place, so. All right. One more pass, that should be good. It's going all over the place. But that happens, you know. So our chicken is shredded. But that's how easy it is. I mean, you want to get a deeper bowl, but I had to cover my hand on it. Isn't that cool, right, Willie? I think that's a great... I couldn't believe it. When I first saw that, I was like, get out of town, people. I can't believe it. I was like, okay. It's so amazing. So I'm going to toss this in the sink. And I'm going to dust this off. Clean this off here. Toss it back underneath the cabinet. Tell you, when I moved, I had everything out. My mixer, my KitchenAid is underneath the cabinet here. And I only used it one time. And I'm going to have to need it very soon. Because I'm making cookies for next Sunday. We're having like a Thanksgiving kind of meal at church. And I'm making the Italian butter spritz cookies. And I need to use my mixer. So. All right. So we got that done. I'm going to move this on the side for a second. I'm going to clean up a little bit. And I want it so that way we can start cooking. This side. Because I don't want the stove. I have so much on my counters that and the way my the kitchen is, it's hard to like cook on the counter because I have, whoa. That's not going in the bloopers. My arm, I just pulled my freaking arm, but the chicken bowl dropped on the floor. But nothing fell out. It fell down like this. Can you believe that? It didn't sit on the counter all the way. I went like this. I didn't realize it. Isn't that nuts? Why are the comments all flooded away? What happened? So that guy's right there. That's like, if that's not a save, I don't know what else it could be. I have to close. Hold on a second. This phone that I have, that I'm using, is a Maestro Max. It's an AT&T based phone. I bought it last year. I had to get rid of it. Because it was acting haywire, and it would just, I couldn't get no notifications on anything, on Discord, anything. And it was driving me nuts. So I wound up buying a Galaxy A12, which is this phone here, is the phone that I use on calls and text and all that stuff. So it's just crazy. It's just nuts. It's like, so it's like, I gotta reset everything. All right, let's get cooking now. Enough jibber jabber. So, got a pot. And we're going to basically we cut our stuff already, excuse me. I'm going to put some olive oil in the pot. Okay. About 2 to 3 tablespoons. Like that. Yeah, I'll show you guys. Okay. What I'm going to do is maybe I should see if I could, I don't know why this keeps freaking doing this. Hold on a second. This phone drives me. It moves on its own. It does. That's why I didn't like this phone at all either. It's telling me to send things to people. Stop that. Oh, that was me. I liked the live. Well, my other account liked the live. All right. So now we're going to turn on our stove, and we're going to heat that oil through until it starts to heat through. And I'm going to sweat out some onions here, some onions and garlic and the other stuff too. So I mixed all this in. I'm going to toss it in at one time so everything becomes translucent. So wait until that oil starts to, the molecules oil starts pooling together. That's how you know when the oil is up to that temperature. I don't want to make it too high because this pot tends to burn. So I want to put it on a 7, maybe a 6.5. I'm going to get my vegetables in. Okay. All right, so we're going to get that in. You can hear already it's starting to sizzle already. Roll that down a little bit more. I'm going to get this here and here, my wooden spoon. And start getting that all in. Welcome, everybody. If you're just coming in, this is That's So Chris. I'm cooking chicken tortellini soup. Okay, I'm going to try to show you guys what it looks like. One thing I don't like about sometimes when you use pots on a electric stove, you get this. You get like it starts wobbly, tilty kind of thing. See this? You ever see that? That's because it's like, it starts like, you know, because it starts getting like, I guess the metal. I think it's the pot is cold, that's why. So we're getting, so basically I'm just, we're just sweating the vegetables and stuff like that so they come translucent. And I'm actually going to add a little bit of salt to this first. I'm going to add some salt to it, just so the onions could sweat out a bit. Let's see if I can. You think, guys, I should move the camera, see if it can catch it all above? Would you like to see that? Let me know, so I can. Because then I got to keep moving to show you, but that's fine. I can move the camera up so you can see me. Oh gosh, it smells so good. I can smell the onions and the celery and the carrots come right through. Okay. Smells really good. See, it starts to... And then you push down. And then it'll pop back up again. Depends. Okay? But that's because it's, like I said, the pot gets cold. And I'll show you where we're at right now. Yeah. Yeah, Will. See how it's moving? See, it does that. With this pot, it does. It doesn't do it with any other pot because it's a thin pot. Now, see, it's starting to really come. I'm going to take that down a little bit. And I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic to this, and I'm gonna lower down the flame a little bit so that way the garlic does not burn. Now I use chopped garlic. If you want to chop your own garlic, you may certainly do. That's fine. I have nothing against that. But I'm only adding maybe like a clove in here because I really don't want, and that's the rest of what's in this jar. So I'm going to take the rest of this jar. I bought a big jar of chopped garlic from Sam's. I know a lot of people are against like chopped garlic already done in a pan, you know, in a pot, in a pan, in a jar. But I have to tell you, my parents used to make their own garlic in a jar. We used to buy the cloves. We would have whole cloves and oil, and then my father would chop it up and put it in oil like this. And we've had it in the refrigerator. So that way, if we really needed garlic, it was on hand in the refrigerator. Sometimes we would chop up our own garlic, like one clove, you needed fresh garlic or something. We would do that. Other than that, we'd use this, but we make our own. So you want to get that. Oh, God's sakes. Frickin' thing. Oh, nuts. Towels are falling down. So we're just going to get this cooked up a bit here. It's starting to get black a little bit on the bottom a little bit. That's why you turn your flame down a little bit. And that's because of this pot does that. So you want to get that garlic moving around. Otherwise it's going to burn. If you were watching me the last time, my last live, I showed you when I made the sausage and peppers. I put a little bit of water in there. I'm not going to do that because we have oil in here. We have a little much of the carrots and stuff like that. It doesn't really need to, but we're just going to let that garlic hang out for a little bit, but keep it moving around. That's why I lowered the flame. Oh my gosh, it smells so good, guys. Oh, I love the way it smells. Is O mean? O mean? What's O? What were you meaning, Jerry? What happened? I have to get something. I forgot I had. Alright, let me get this out of the cabinet. Right there. Alright, so let me show you what we're at right now. And I think this is pretty good. We're almost there. See how the onions are actually starting to get very translucent. The carrots are still a little hard and stuff like that. The celery is starting to really get, whatever down. But it's going to cook more as it cooks in the soup. So I'm sorry about the steam. I know it's hitting the thing. But that's what we got. Okay. All right. I'm going to let this go for another minute or so. And then we're going to add our chicken stock to this. Now, let's talk about chicken stock and let's talk about what you could do. Now, sometimes, and I've done this, I've made my own chicken stock. A lot of times I'll use the box chicken stock like we're going to use right now. If you'd like to add water and use better than bouillon, you most certainly can. If you want to use regular bouillon and just mix it and dissolve it, you can do that too. I'm using chicken stock. I bought it specifically for this soup. And that way we'll have that hang out and be done and stuff like that. So, like I said, this is a very simple soup. I'm going to add some pepper to this later on when I add the chicken stock. We'll add it in the seasoning and stuff like that. All right, so we're at that point now where I like it to be, and where the vegetables are really starting to get a little soft. Like I said, not everything is not really soft, but you can look and see when I push down on the celery, the easy give it gives. If it cooked a little more, it would give a little more. The onions are there. The carrots are somewhat there, not really, but I mean you can indentation here. So now that's a good point to start adding your liquid, and I'm going to add that in now. Turn this back this way so you guys can see. So turn it this this way a little bit. All right, so chicken stock. I'd say 2 of these. Now, I like to make a lot of soup, and a lot of times, as you guys know, when you put liquid in, it kind of, when it cooks through, kind of gets reduced down, right? So, you want to try to add more liquid to it. And remember, when you're adding more liquid, you always want to retest your seasonings. You want to recheck that. So, that's 1. It doesn't, see on how it's shaking? Because I added something cold to that. This one. Like this, and now it's not enough in here. Totally not enough. But like I say, I like to stretch it, and I like to add more stock to it. So what I'm going to do is, I'd say maybe about 4 of these total. But I'm going to add more. I'm going to add more to this. Give me 1 second. So, let's say 4 cups is 32 ounces. This is about 4 cups here. So you're going to do 4 of that. You're going to do, oh, my neck hurts so much. 16 cups of liquid. That's 4. 32 ounces is a cup. Is 4 cups. So that's like 2 pounds, it says. But you're going to do 4 cups, which is a quart. So this is a quart. So you're going to do 4 quarts. That's 16 cups. So then in this case, I'm going to add, no, I'm sorry. What am I thinking? Hold on a second. Yeah, 16 cups. Yeah, 4 times 4 is 16. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm like, at the moment. So I gotta get my measuring cup, excuse me. Get that out of there. And I got my measuring cup up on top. I moved my measuring cups. So I'm gonna put 8 more cups of water in here. And that'll give me 16 cups of liquid. And I apologize if I don't have enough, I didn't have enough liquid, sorry. All right, so here's 4 cups. And I'm gonna add 1 more 4 cup of liquid. And then this is a quick soup, guys. This is not a long soup. All right. So I put 8 cups in there. So 8 plus, 16. All right. So I'm gonna do is I could do a little more, but I choose not to. Yeah, we can add a little more in there. I'll add a little more. So I'll say about like 18 cups of water. You could do that. So maybe half of 4.5 of those chicken stocks. But what I'm going to do to offset the taste, I'm going to add some Better Than Bouillon. Hey, Izzy, hi. Hey, buddy. I never, you know what? I'm making chicken tortellini soup. And this is a soup based on a soup I've had years ago. And it was kind of not for me in the sense because it needed more stuff. So I'm adding more stuff to it. Hey, October Dragonfly. How you doing? Hey, I hope you're doing well. Welcome. I'm making chicken tortellini soup tonight. Yeah, I'll show you what I just did. Yeah, I'll show you. So I added two. You're gonna need like 4 boxes of chicken stock, 4.5. So that's like 16. That's like 18 cups total. So what I did was I had two, and I added um 8.5 more, eight and 10 more cups of water to it. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add some more flavor to it. So I'm going to use the Better Than Bouillon in there. And I haven't opened it yet. I bought it a long time ago. I just never opened it. And how I found out about it was Sherry Skinner, who was also a food creator on here. And I haven't never used this. My mother used this when I was young. And I remember her using this. So, Izzy, I never get to talk to you. I mean, you never see me talk to you. We're always talking on the videos that you put out. Guys, if you were born and you grew up in the 80s, check Izzy out. Izzy does videos like, hey, do you remember when we used to have Pez dispensers and blah, 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 blah? And do you remember Fisher Price Viewer and all? He does stuff like that, all retro stuff. He's awesome. Really awesome, nice guy, and we laugh, and it's a good. I like his videos. It just brings back so many memories when I was a kid, because that's what we grew up with. Now, if I can break this dang seal, Chris, get a knife. There you go. Work harder, work smarter, not harder. Oh, I love you too, bro. You're welcome. I mean, like I said, you guys are just you're amazing, And look at this. Oh my gosh, it smells good. Okay, so I'm gonna put about a tablespoon of this stuff in, and that is going to help enhance that flavor as it starts to get in there. Better than bouillon. So I'm just gonna stir this in. Okay. All right, got a lot of dishes to wash. I've been kind of lazy washing dishes sometimes. Yeah. Oh yeah, Willie. Yeah, back then you didn't have to have a helmet, man. Oh my gosh. Oh man. So I'm just stir this up and let that dissolve and come to a heating up there. And then we're gonna let this cook. I'd say until it comes to a boil. You want to put a lid on this too, but I'm gonna add some pepper to this. Now I don't use black pepper really, and I mentioned this in my other video. I'm actually allergic to it. Not in the sense I'm allergic in the sense that if I eat, let's say, like like you have pastrami, it's got the peppercorns and stuff like that. I eat that. If I don't rinse my mouth, I get blisters, and I'm just getting over one that I had in actually a sausage and pepper hero I had from the pizzeria across the way from me, and I didn't even know they put pepper in it. And I must have didn't rinse my mouth, and it was there. It sat there, and immediately I was like, oh. But I can have pepper. It's just that I gotta rinse my mouth, or it's not a lot. So I use white pepper, and white pepper, it seems like that don't affect me. My grandmother, my maternal, suffers from that as well. So I'm gonna use some white pepper. Now I'm not putting any Italian seasonings in this because it really doesn't need Italian seasonings. I was gonna chop up some parsley. I think I'm gonna do that at the end. A little bit. I don't think I'm gonna add. So I'm gonna add some white pepper to this, like that, and I'm gonna stir that in, and then I'm gonna I'm not gonna touch this because we want to come to a boil. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the lid, and I'm gonna put it on, so that comes to a boil. Actually, if I turn it up to your high flame. So. Where's my lid to this? Jeez. Oh. Alright. So a lid goes on it as it comes to a boil. It's gonna rock, it's gonna roll, because electric heat does that. But in the meantime, how you guys? What are you guys up to? What are you up to tomorrow, Izzy? Oh, let me recap what we did. So we have celery and carrots. We added better than bouillon. We added chicken stock, as you see here, and I shredded up some rotisserie chicken. I have here, and then we're going to add that in when it comes to a boil. And we'll let that heat through. And then we'll add our, we're going to add diced tomatoes. This is annoying, guys. So I don't like about this pot. So what I usually tend to do is do this. Hold it down for a bit. Until it starts to, like I said, the reason why there's cold liquid in here. And once it gets hot, it'll stop doing that. But and sometimes there's water on the bottom of the pot too. Or if there was water underneath the burner, it'll do that. Thanks for liking the lives, guys. So that's where we're at right now. So again, you're gonna probably then need 2 cans of diced tomatoes. I'm using 1 big can, which is equal to diced tomatoes. I went to Walmart and they had the Tortoroso tomatoes. They were like in the aisle, and I saw and I said, "Oh, I need diced tomatoes to make this." So let me get my diced tomatoes. I think I had them over here, in the cabinet over here. I put them over there. So, oops. Cabinet here. Okay, there we go. So I got the diced tomatoes. Am I? I don't know why it says it backwards. Put that over here for now. I am so. So what are you guys up to though? Tomorrow? Anything different? Anything new or anything interesting? So, all right. So, let's see if I can have some music going on here. I don't want to be boring. Play something. Hold on 1 second. Play some music. at 45 for tomorrow. We have music for tomorrow at church. So, I think that's 45. Yeah, so this is coming up to a boil now. It's about to. I can start seeing it starting to like. It'll, like I said, it'll start to it'll stop rocking as you see because as the liquid heats up, it starts getting what should we call it? All right, Alexa, connect the Bluetooth.
Searching. Now connected to LG K30.
Alexa, volume down. So, all right, let's see on how we're doing here. It's starting to come to a rolling. It's starting to come to it's starting to roll here. Let's see, watch. See, we're almost there. And then what I'll do is I'll add the chicken in, and then I'll add the diced tomatoes, and then we'll add the tortellini. And the tortellini is gonna cook like until it floats to the top, and then once it's done, it's done. Now I was gonna make these Parmesan crisp kind of thing. You float them in the top, but I'm gonna try. I may not make it tonight because I'm really not up to doing more. Although I'm starting to get a little tired. So I could do that. Maybe I'll put it towards the video next time, like the video when I edit this. So once I get the video and stuff like that, because I originally was gonna do this for a regular TikTok video, but decided to do live. I wanted to go live because I just needed to do something. I was so aggravated today. Something bad or something crazy happened, and I don't even want to say it because it's so friggin' ludicrous. It's nuts. I had to throw groceries out, a couple of items out that I had that I forgot to put in the refrigerator, that I forgot about, that I were in a bag that not like non-perishable in my head. I was gonna put on the side. $26 worth of stuff from Sam's Club. I was so mad. I was on the phone with my friend Sue. I was so mad. I was like, I can't believe this crap. I can't believe this crap. I said to myself. So it was kind of crazy. But, gotta do what you gotta do. So, I'm gonna put the lid back on. So, what else? You guys doing? If you guys are just tuning in, welcome. My name is Chris, and we're making chicken tortellini soup. Hope you guys are doing well this evening. If you are interested in following, give it a follow. If you'd like to see more about food, I'm a food creator, and I had just started too long ago. No. Months ago, but this is my second time doing a live, and I am trying to get used to it. So, if you like I said, if you just tend to join us, a pot going here. We chopped up some the Trinity, carrot, celery, and onion. We sauteed that. We added some garlic to that. Got that all heated through. We added about 18 cups of broth, chicken stock. We added some, compensate what we didn't have. We added some better than bouillon. I got some chicken that I shredded up from a rotisserie, and I added some pepper to this, and we're letting this come to a boil before I add the chicken, and then we're going to add diced tomatoes, and we're going to let that cook for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to add our tortellini. and we should be ready. Yeah. But you know what, Jerry? The problem was I had 2 bags on the floor. And I looked and I said, well, there's nothing perishable in there. Because when I got home, this was Monday. It was Monday or Tuesday I went to Sam's. I could have swore I put everything in the refrigerator. I was exhausted because I didn't want to go. Actually, it was Monday. It was Halloween. I didn't want to be home. I wanted to be out, away from the craziness. And I went, and I said, it sat there. Tonight, I went to go, I said to my friend, I'm going to eat something. I said, I don't know if I was going to go live. I was going to make the soup, but I'm tired. And she said to me, and I'm going talking on the phone. I said, oh my gosh. She goes, what? What happened? And I saw the cottage cheese. I saw the cold cuts. I had to throw it out. I was almost in tears. I said, that's $26 worth of stuff. Yeah, I'll show you. Roasted turkey, look, it's still in there, in the garbage. It sat there since Monday. I had a lot of problems because I had somebody, and it was nighttime. I came out of the thing where Sam's is, and somebody was up my behind. And they were trying to make me turn fast, and they were running me off the road. So I wanted to go to Walmart, and never got to go to Walmart because I needed stuff from there. Sam's didn't have it. So everything was all bad. And when I got up, and I was so I told you, I couldn't get what I needed to get. So I'm starting to hear it heat up now. Really heat up. It's starting to come through. You can hear it. So Alexa, volume up. Okay. So yeah. So it's just stupidity. You know what I'm saying? Now let me remember to open the can of tomatoes. Now, I said I was going to do a whole entire can of diced tomatoes, but you know what? I have a feeling I may not be needing that. And I'll tell you why. Because I was thinking of a big stock pot when I was going to do this, but I'm not going to. And I open a can this way. I don't open it this way. I've been doing this way now, and I love this way. And it's so much easy. I mean, because when you open the can, so I do it from this side, like that. It's a little kind of nerve-wracking when you open the can up this way, but you know what, I'll tell you, it works. You don't have to deal with certain things, you know, like you don't have to open up a can and have to cut yourself. Start this. See? And you don't have to worry about cutting your hand. Alright, it's a little unorthodox the way it goes, but it's a good hack. You know? It's a good hack. Alright, we're almost there. It's starting to get a little foam on there. Throw this out. So guys, so Jerry, you see what I'm talking about? I was so angry. I said, cottage cheese. I told my friends. I'm like, what the heck? You know, I'm like, come on. It's like bull. I said I was going through so much. It's like now the tortellini came from Sam's Club, and I got like one of the 5 cheese tortellinis. They come into like a 2-pack. So I figured, oh, that would be good. I like to make the soup. So we're almost there, guys. I'll show you what it looks like. Here we are. Yeah, looking good. Get on there. I need to change my calendar to November. I always do that. I always forget to change the calendar to November, or to the date that I'm supposed, the month I'm supposed to go to. Yeah, I know. It smells good. Like I said, I've never tried the bouillon and stuff like that, and I know a lot of people say it's not good at all. I've heard people say it, but I don't know. Maybe because it's concentrated bouillon and I don't like it. Toss this jar out. I have too many jars. I don't want to keep too many jars. There it goes. Here we are. See? Nice. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here. Oh, crap. All right, give me a second. I don't want this to fall. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add our chicken to it. All right. Very slowly. I don't want to splash and you burn yourself. You know what I'm saying? I've done that so many times. When I made the Frank's beans and potatoes, I switched to a spoon. I'm gonna tell you what I did. It started splashing on my hand. I'm like, oh. I'm like, nope. We're switching to a spoon. Nope. So I'm gonna switch now to a regular spoon, and we're gonna give this a stir. So we're gonna let that heat through. I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit because what I want to do now, I'm gonna add in the tomato. Now I'm gonna add that. I'm just gonna add the can in a little. This thing. That's why you don't want to add too much, because so now I added that in. I'm going to try to bring you guys in close to what I just did. So now I'm going to give this a stir. Now, here's where you want to check for seasonings. It's very important. I'm going to turn this down a little bit so it doesn't start to boil so crazily. I'm going to check for seasonings. Yeah, Jerry, it is. It is. I can imagine. Now, like I said, this is the first time I'm actually trying this. So I never tried it before. But a lot of people don't like it. I've heard some friends of mine said they didn't like it. So I'm going to try I'm going to try to see if the seasoning and stuff. It could use a little more salt. So I'll measure with my hand a little bit, like this. Because remember, when you added more, we added salt to the onions and the veggies, but we didn't add, that could cook out, All right, I'm gonna let this. I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna let. All right, I'm gonna let this. I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna let. All right, I'm gonna let this. I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna let. All right, I'm gonna let this. I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna let. So I'm gonna let me show you what it looks like, guys. Again. And the pepper. And the pepper actually has a kick. Or then we're gonna reduce that down to a low. Let that simmer for about 10 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes, and then we'll add our tortellini, and we should be done. So, yeah, you know something. When I smelled it when I opened it, it smells really good, and it tastes not bad, you know. But you see, a lot of times, you chicken stock, chicken stock, chicken stock, chicken stock. Before, like you would really remember, we used chicken broth in the can, the Campbells and all that stuff, the collagen and all that stuff. But when you make soup, everybody just used water. And if they made anything with chicken, they make chicken soup that had the broth when you cooked your chicken, and that's your broth right there. And then you strained it and you did all that stuff. But this is the way to go a lot of times. And yeah, and you want to make that where you have chicken broth. I mean, use the cubes or the powdered. They sell the powdered too. Now I used to get when I wasn't really caring, when I was really worried about my salt, I'd get the Knorr or the Herbox. They sell the packets, which are salt free, and the beef ones. And you saw me when I did my video for the peppers. I had used these sodium free. See, what I did was I cut the box off and I put tape over the jars so I know what's in them. And I got my sazon in there too, which I don't really use because I use the achote when I make my rice and beans. But sometimes I'll use those too if I want to go fast. Or if I don't have achote oil. I still have the achote oil. I haven't made really anything. Now, I was supposed to make something. I got to make sofrito again with Kaz. Kaz wants me to make sofrito. And I'm going to do that with him, and I'm going to have to talk to him because we're planning that. Kaz, you're from from Food Talk TV. And, you know. I'm going to help this come up to a bubble now, fast. Oh, wait. I lowered it down. See, I do stupid things too in the kitchen. I'm not ashamed to say it, you know. Guys, if you just came in, welcome to the live. My name is Chris, and today I'm making chicken tortilla soup. So far, if you came in and you don't know where we're at, we sauteed some vegetables, the Trinity, and we added some garlic, and then we added about some chicken stock to that, and then we added some better than bouillon and some more water to fill it up. Then we let that come to a boil. Then we added our chicken. We had shredded up some chicken from rotisserie, and then we added some tomatoes, some diced tomatoes. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Now we're waiting that come up to a boil, and then we're going to let that come down to a simmer to about 7 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to add our tortellini. So now it's coming up to a boil now. It's starting to boil. Sorry about trying to get that. So. Ah! So now I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to cover it. And we're going to let it turn it to a simmer on low. I'm listening to the list that we're doing tomorrow for church. And doing that. And, well, I don't sing really anymore. I do, but right now I'm not leading worship. I stepped away from the worship, leading worship, so I'm doing the sound system and the stream and stuff, so, but I'm still part of the worship team. I just, don't sing. Excuse me 1 second. My refrigerator was open. Dum. So, we'll let that set. I'm gonna set a timer for about 7 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 7 minutes.
7.
Sorry, I'm gonna get something to drink. Hey Willie, how's your omelet coming out, dude? How's your omelet? Did your omelet come out good? If you guys, I bring up a lot of creators in here because I love them very much, especially the Food Talk TV crowd. If you guys know Sherry Skinner, she made that 7-Up. She made that cake with the strawberries and stuff, and she used the Sprite or the 7-Up. I've been buying this because I've been wanting to make that cake. I have the ingredients except for the strawberries, or in the Cool Whip too. I never made it because I kept drinking this and eat the strawberries so they wouldn't go bad. So I've been buying this ever since. And I actually prefer this over Coke. So guys, if you are joining, BB King joined. Welcome, BB King. Hello, Mr. BB King. Who actually gave me some tips on cooking the meat in the oven, the stuffed peppers. I could have done that, but that's only because I had the cauliflower rice, and I figured I would add some seasoning to it. But you could do it, you can do it that way. That's fine. Some people do it that way, some people don't, and that's fine. I thank you for your input. I appreciate it. I know you would help, being very helpful, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And so Baby King, you know what we're making? We're making chicken tortellini soup. Of course. Yeah, I know. I appreciate it. But you know what? My mother would have not done that. She wouldn't have done that. She would have did it raw with the rice, because the rice, when you add the liquid, the rice cooks with the meat. Exactly. But I did it because I had cauliflower rice and it was all cooked. So I said, and I want to add a little more seasoning to it, since you're not getting that rice. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know something? I'm from Queens too, like she is, but she lives in she's from Astoria, and I grew up in Maspeth, so I know where exactly, Astoria and everything. No, Liz, I like Liz. She made it again. She said she can't find the cauliflower rice, and my friend was saying to me, maybe because when you look, it's not what the broccoli is. The frozen broccoli. Maybe they have in a separate part of. I gotta tell Liz when I talk to her next time. Yeah, no, really, cauliflower rice is awesome. Years ago. I've made Chinese food. There's like a fried rice with it. It's like, don't get me wrong. I love rice. I love rice. I love pasta. And there's times that I had to not eat it. And the cauliflower rice, you know, works. I mean, it's amazing on how we could suck to all these things now with keto and all that stuff, and you know. So anyway, chicken tortellini soup. The recipe I've had years ago, and I'm not really gonna say where I had it, where I got it from. It's just that I didn't like it because it was too bland, and so I decided to do. What we did was we took the Trinity, carrots, celery, and onions. We sautéed it. We added some garlic, and we added some chicken stock, about 18 cups, and then we let it come to a boil, and we added shredded chicken that I got from rotisserie. I used the mixer to shred it up. Added and let that come to a boil. Add up chicken and added a large can of diced tomatoes. And now we're letting this come to simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes, maybe 10 if you want. And then we're going to add our tortellini and call it a day. Now, what I was going to say, you can make these Parmesan crisps. I'm not going to do it because I'm kind of tired. I'm not up to putting the oven on and dealing with the crap, you know. But I probably will make them another time. You take Parmesan cheese. You take about a tablespoon on a cookie sheet of paper. You sprinkle it on. You take that spoon. You're going to sprinkle it on in a circle like that. You're going to press it down. You're going to bake them. Now, I don't remember how long to bake them. But you're going to bake them until they're crispy. Use them as floaters in your soup. Yeah. Oh, man. It is. It is. I was like, because I was thinking about the soup a long time ago. And, you know, and I don't even want to say who this is, the recipe originally was from. But it was just so bland. And I had it years ago. I made it when I first saw it, and it was put out there. And I said, you know, in retrospect, I was like, that was so boring. So let me jazz it up with some chicken and some tomato and tortellini. Like a parm crouton. Or if you've seen the low carb cheese whisk crisps, you can float those in there too. You don't have to make them. Duh! I could add a V8. Yeah, I think I have some in the cabinet. You float them in there. Exactly, BB King. Exactly. I don't think I have any. I thought I did. Alexa, stop. Yeah. Yeah, like, exactly. Like, that's what it is. Yeah, so that's what you know, we're going to do. That's what you can do. But it's so good. All right, so now this is nice and simmered. And I'll show you guys what it looks like. I'm using this Princess House spoon rest for my lid, which I don't know why it's not letting me hold it now all of a sudden. Maybe because it's hot. Excuse me. Hold this back here. Pray to God it doesn't fall. All right, here we go. Here's what we got so far. Look at that. Got the chicken in there, the tomatoes, carrots, celery, onions. But it smells amazing. It smells so good. Even when you're sautéing the carrots and onions and the garlic, so good. All right, so we're at the point I'm going to add the tortellini. So let me get that tortellini. So you want to add, if you're going to use, hold on, I'll tell you this. Oh, Jesus. All right. Now, you want to use if you're going to use a frozen bag of tortellini, you most certainly can use it. I'm using fresh. I got this at Sam's Club. Double. So, it's the same thing, a bag. So we're going to just cut off one. I'm going to snip this off. And then we're going to add that to the pot. Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, BB King, where are you from, by the chance? If you don't mind me asking. See, I'm Italian mostly, and I like soup. My paternal grandmother used to make a soup. I'm gonna make this probably on my channel. I made this version for my friend. Well, another version for my friend. She can't have anything from a cow. She's got Sjogren's. So I made chicken and pork. And I made them, it's like a meatball soup. My grandmother used to make it. She said it was the most delicious thing she ever had. I said my grandmother used to make it all the time. My cousin makes it still. I think me and her are the only ones that make it. Or maybe and her sister, my other cousin. Oh, you're in PA. Oh, you're in PA. Okay. Cool. So you're not that far. I live in upstate New York now. I'm not in the city anymore. So, it's gotten bad down there. To be honest. And my family still lives there. They live in Brooklyn, Staten Island, and some family lives in Queens. I haven't been there since 2011. Do I miss it? Yep, I do. I miss the shopping. Because you can't get certain things. Like, you can't go to, like, Arthur Avenue and buy your stuff, you know? You can get you gotta rely on local, of a supermarket, Hannaford, here, and you can't really, get all that Italian. Everything's not imported. You get the domestic. And now, like Colombo and all those companies, they make all this domestic stuff because, it makes it easy for people to get, but still, Alright, so we're going to, oh, dude. Here. I'm going to show you. We added the tomatoes and we added the shredded chicken. And now we let this simmer for seven minutes. So it's already at that point, and we're going to add our tortellini. Tortellini, I got a double pack, which is from Sam's Club. I just cut it in half. You can use frozen. I've used frozen in the original recipe before I made it my own. Which I'm not boasting in it. Alright, so we're going to add this tortellini. I don't know. I gotta deal with this fucking crap. Trying to open it is the Chris, just pop open the thing. Use a scissor, darn it. And we're gonna you gotta cook tortellini. Usually when they're done, they float to the top. It's almost like it's like a ravioli. So I'm gonna be very careful on how I add this in. Now this is dry, of course. It's fresh. So now I'm adding it slow because there's a lot of liquid in here. And well, they are floating to the top already, but maybe because they're... Oh man, it smells so good. So I'm just gonna add this in. Like I said, I'm adding it little by little because if I add it in all at once, it's gonna go all over the place. And I'm checking the level for liquid too. Just splash myself, mother of pearls. Alright. So we got that in. All right. And you want to give this a little zhuzh, a little mix here, lightly. It is floating to the top. All right. They're already, because they're already, you know, they're fresh pasta. They're not the they're, you know, they're not frozen. So, all right. So we'll probably cook this. Turn up the heat a little bit more. And we'll let this cook about maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes. So we'll do that. Can't be moved. Got food for a month. How well does it freeze? It freezes pretty well. You just put it in your containers. I'd say about up to 4 to 5 months. So that you got, if you're gonna do this like for the winter time, it freezes well. It's got tomatoes, so it's fine. Pretty much like any kind of soup you make. It's got the chicken. Chicken is good. I like chicken. Oh, and I don't know if you. So let me actually. I think I said what we did, right? We added chicken stock. I added more liquid because I only had 2 cartons of chicken broth. I added a total of 18 cups of water because one of those is 4 cups. So that's another one that's 4, that's 8. And then you put another 8 cups, that's 16. Added another 2 more cups as half of a carton that would be. And then I added better than bouillon. I added a tablespoon. So that's to compensate the flavor of that. Still an empty grave. So, I love tortellini is like little mini raviolis to me because it's, you know, you know what I like, guys? I like, my favorite kind of tortellini is the multicolored ones that you use for pasta salad. I love pasta salad. My mom used to make that with cheese. She used to cut up cheese, sometimes ham, black olives, and oil and vinegar, and salad dressing. Yeah, sometimes I will. A lot of times, if I'm not, I do cook, and sometimes I go, when I'm not cooking, which I wasn't planning on doing a live, but I had a problem. I wind up really, I was telling Jerry, who's in here, about, I bought stuff at Sam's Club on Monday, and I thought I put everything in the refrigerator. I had one bag that I thought that I didn't, because I left it with some items that I had to put away that I left. I was so tired when I got home. But unfortunately, it was a bag that had refrigerated stuff, and I had cold cuts in it from Sam's. I had to throw it out. So my dinner for tonight is this, because I was going to not plan on doing that. I was going to plan on eating a sandwich, low carb sandwich. But things change. But I do cook at night. And last night I had pastina. And I had a half a box of pastina left, so I made that. And that's another thing that's coming in one of my videos. I'm going to be doing that. I couldn't fit all the Italian stuff in for October, so I'm going to be doing some sauce. You know, some just a regular, marinara sauce. You know, regular sauce, pomodoro, like my family used to make. I miss eating on Sunday sauce. I don't make it. The only sauce I use, jar sauce. My father bought jar sauce. Unfortunately, my father wasn't up to cooking. He was not well that he wanted to cook all the time. So we had jar sauce. I didn't care for it as much. I didn't like it because it was too sweet. But there was one jar sauce that I buy that I had bought because I was doing keto a couple years ago. And the only one I only use, which I say it's almost very close to how we make sauce from scratch, is Rails. And I got this at Sam's Club. Two of these were, I think, 8, 9 change. Hold up, thought. I have a receipt here. Let's see. Rails was $9.98 for these two. It's like what, $8 for a jar? The big jar that I had when I did the sauce and stuff like that for the sauces and peppers, and the stuffed that was also the stuffed peppers was, I think, around almost $8 for that big jar. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be using this for stuff. But this is the only sauce that I buy, jar sauce. Although I make my own. I'm Italian. That's like, ugh. But that is really closer. It's low carb because it doesn't have that much sugar. I think that's why a lot of people don't like that sauce, because I had somebody made a video recently and she didn't like it when she was making something. And it was an arrabbiata sauce, and she didn't like it. Well, she ate it cold, but still, if it doesn't have sugar, like this don't really have sugar, it's going to taste like. But that's why people that do keto use a one. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, it's expensive. I know. A lot of times I didn't buy it for a reason. I would make my own. Like my dad made sauce and stuff like that, and I was doing keto. Maybe I have a sausage with the sauce, and he would eat macaroni. I didn't eat macaroni. I would eat maybe spaghetti squash with it, you know. And he'd make braciole with the egg. Braciole. My mom's mom made braciole with an egg, with the hard-boiled egg. My other grandmother didn't make braciole. My mom was Calabrese, and my father is Napolitan. So, but my father, when he met my mom was like my mom's family. My son is Italian for Italy, Italian. So, yeah. See, Jerry, I think you know what I think. I think I was trying to figure out. That's a Sicilian thing from what I heard. I don't know if that's true. And I never really asked my family. But when my mom died, my father would make the braciole with the egg because he liked it. And that was my favorite thing. My paternal grandmother made pig skin. Like she did, like you would do with braciole. With the parsley and all the seasonings. Roll it up, pig skin, right in the sauce. Yeah, see, Jerry? See? And I think that's where it comes from. But Calabrese, now, I did it, well, I don't know, nobody can tell me this, but I'm saying that's a Sicilian thing. So, usually, braciole, they just put the seasonings in and they tie it up or with a toothpick, and that's the end of it. But, from what I know, like, when I did the DNA, the 23andMe, it said I was from 8 regions of Italy. And the first one was Calabria, because the blue, according to them, was the strongest. And then as it gets lighter and lighter and lighter, the less of the region is. The strongest one was Calabria. My brother's like, oh, I'm like, I don't believe that. I'm like, how do they know that? The second one was Sicily. The third one was Napolitan, Catania region. That's how I knew. So I think it was from my grandmother's side or something. So maybe that's where they get. I don't know. I don't ever know any Calabrese that does the egg like that with the braciole, except my family's. So let's check on our soup and see what's going on with you. Alright, so it's really not going to matter because these are going to be cooked down to nothing. So if it overcooks a bit, that's fine. But I like to check to see. I don't know how long it's been, but I'm going to check to see if it's cooked through or anything. It should be cooked through because these are fresh. These are 5 cheeses. Aged Asiago, I think. Or aged something. Hold on. Aged Parmesan, mascarpone, and Romano cheese. And something else. They look delicious. Try it one more. I'm gonna let this go for about another 5 minutes. They heat it through, but I'm just gonna let it go for a little more. Turn it up a little bit. So yeah, so Jerry, that's very strange. You know what I mean? Like I like to figure out. Well, that was a while ago. I had lost like 40 pounds. That was like a couple years ago. But when I got COVID last year, I lost a lot of weight because I didn't eat for almost a month, and I gained it all back. And but I lost like 40 pounds when I was doing COVID. When I was doing keto, and I was very strict on it. So I'll show you guys what it looks like. Guys, it's cooking good. Look at this. Look how amazing that looks. Now, wouldn't that look better than bland tortellini soup with tortellini that had just chicken stock, pepper, and maybe not even less than carrots or onions in it? They really didn't have it in there, I think. If you're just joining us, guys, I am making chicken tortellini soup. It's almost done, and what we did was we just did the Trinity, some garlic, and then we added chicken stock, and then we let it come to a boil. Added some shredded chicken from a rotisserie and some diced tomatoes, and then we added some tortellini. You could add whatever kind of tortellini you like. I have a fresh 5 cheese tortellini here, ricotta cheese, mozzarella, and Romano, and aged Romano, right, and mascarpone. I think that's 5. No, it was hard. A lot of people couldn't go. You know, if you stayed home and you really, you really were very, I don't want to say fearful. You were scared, or you didn't want to be exposed to, going out that much. It's hard to lose weight, A lot of times I walk around Walmart, and yeah, it's hard. The pandemic, it was just terrible. I lost my dad from COVID to COVID in a nursing home. He was supposed to come home, and unfortunately, you know, he was going to be in there for a long time, or probably the rest of his life, because of his back got his health went down, or he would have had came home and had nursing stuff. But he caught COVID. He went to the hospital. He wasn't on a respirator, but he was on they were trying to get him, you know, antibiotics and all that stuff. I don't know what they gave him, but his heart stopped. He was supposed to go back to the nursing home, which he did, but we were trying to get in touch with him, but for some reason the phone in his room didn't work. 3 days we didn't speak to him. That Sunday he passed. His heart just stopped. And this was not this past January, but the January before, the 2021. So it was just tough, you know. Thank you. Yeah, so that's why I was living with my dad, because I was helping him out. And then my brother, we had to decide what we were going to do. Fortunately, my brother got the house. It was no will. Turned it into an Airbnb, and it was in, I was out. But anyways, you know, it was hard dealing with a lot of stuff with my family, you know. But, you know, I kind of lived to accept it. Even though I don't talk to my brother anymore. Or I don't really talk to him. I haven't talked to him in about a year. But that's not me not wanting to talk to him. It's that he chose not to talk to me. Whatever, you know. Alright. I think this is practically done. I'm going to check it one more time. And I think it's pretty much done. And then we'll sample it. I just want to check to see if it's cooked right. Should be. Okay. Alright. So, I'm going to shut this soup down in a minute. Now, I said you can add like Parmesan crisp to it. I'm going to see if I have. I think I bought some not too long ago. I think I did. They might have been pushed to the back or something. No. I thought I did. Oh. That's okay. I thought I did. Alright, that's okay. Anyways, I'm gonna let the soup you made it like you made an excuse. I think a lot of people like, I am not. I am not dealing with this. I am not dealing with this. Alright, I'm getting a bowl. I'm going to put this in, guys, so you can try and see what this tastes like. So, alright. So, I'm going to show you what it looks like before I serve it. I think that's fair, right? Here what we got. Look at that. Look at this, how good this looks. Now, I was going to add some fresh parsley to this. You can if you want. But maybe I'll include that in the recipe. So let's serve us up a nice bowl here. Got a nice bowl here. And we could totally see what it tastes like. sauce in here. I'm not going to add a little too much. All right. All right. I'm going to move some of this stuff away so you can get a visual on here. Put this back in the fridge. Ay, marón. Give me a second. All right. Now, some cheese in here. Okay. All right. And I'm going to try to... Alexa, stop. Turn off the worship music. Here's what we had. Look at that. That looks so good. Look at that. Oh man, that looks so good. Okay, and I'm going to add some Romano cheese to this. I got some Locatelli Romano. I lost a lot last night in my pastina. It fell in. Went pop, plop. I'm like, ah. See? I'm waiting for, like, I'm watching it on what you're saying on the other phone. See? I know, right? It looks, oh God, it looks so good. I'm going to try to see if I can get a shot that you guys could see me eating this, because like I said, counter space here is crazy. It's hard to, like, really try to show you. It's like, so move this over a bit. I can always use this side like this. All right, let's try it. Let's see on how we did. La 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 la. Okay, look at that. Look. Oh my gosh, look at a big chunk of cheese. All right, ready? Here we go. Mmm. Oh yeah. Got some of that chicken in there too. Tomato. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, BB King. Comfort food. Comfort food. It's really good. And then adding the cheese to it, because then you have the float. If you had the crisps, you float them right on top. Now this is a tortellini soup that I can go with. Not something bland, something, It's a tortellini soup that I can go with. Not something bland, something,